Hey there, neighbors and naysayers. April 29th, 2024. We got our first one, folks. This is the first orchard grass seed heads of 2024, at least in the field. We had one at the house the other day, right in the foundation of the house. And Ethan says, "You want me to pick it?" No, it's like gray hairs. If you pick it, there'll be a million of them. It's not going to matter because there's going to be a million of them here in about 2 weeks anyway. That's usually a good indication that we're about 2 weeks off from everything being blowed up. 2 to 4 weeks, which, I mean, we all knew that. April 29th, though. I mean, May 1st, there's lots of years I don't turn out until May 1st. And here we are in what Ethan and I just called oceans of grass on the 29th of April. Next rotation, when we come by, I fully expect to be splitting this up into multiple paddocks and mob grazing the whole thing, because that's just the way that it will be. Got my helpers here today if you can't hear, but I had two thoughts and I don't remember what the first one was, but this is a time of year where we simultaneously have too much grass and not enough grass at the same time. We actually had them on a field. I had set, of course, set these up 2 weeks ago, and 2 weeks ago, you know, we had a certain amount of growth, and by the time we put them in here, of course, there was 2 days worth of grazing in each 1 day paddock. So unfortunately, I didn't check the paddock before I moved the cows. When I went back through it, they hadn't ate enough, so we actually put them on a paddock and then turned them around and put them back in a paddock they'd been in the day before to get them to graze this. But that's a pretty good graze. There's still a lot of fescue they didn't touch. The one below that, though, yeah, we'll be mob grazing that next round. That was one thought. It's just funny how, like I said, simultaneously you have too much grass and not enough grass at the same time. You got too much behind you and not enough in front of you. So the fields over there, we just spread them with some of them with hog manure this weekend. And if you saw my mud slick, I got to drain the trough, and the trough's been running, and it's 80 degrees in April, and cows like to stand around like pigs in the water. That'll all heal up and grow over by this next rotation. But the paddocks we're going to next week are the first ones we grazed, and so they got knocked back quite a bit. We've had some frost in there. They're just slow growing. It's a frustrating and rewarding time of the year at the same time. So anything we can do to buy time here, we're trying to buy time before we go back on those fields, and then by the time we come back here, they'll be in seed heads. So it's a wild time to manage grass, but also a fun time, because you know there's going to be enough. As it comes to August and September, we're not always sure there's going to be enough. So it is what it is. The second thought is, as we drive around, we're talking today at the office about pastures and who has what and how much is out there, and the continuously grazed pastures that look like golf courses at the time. And Ethan and I were just talking about that going down over the hill. You know, that's a perfect graze, and maybe take a little bit more, but you know, there's 3, 4, 5 inches stubble height there, and we don't want it to look like a golf course. And one of the comments that I got years ago that's always stuck with me, I had a guy out here that's pastures, I always say, a field mouse to have to pack a lunch to get across them. They look like a putting green year round. He said, "Boy, if I had that much grass, I'd have more cows." And I instantly turned around to him and said, "If you had that much grass and you had more cows, you wouldn't have any grass, the same as you got right now." Yeah, it looks like, oh, man, we need a bunch of cows here. We do, but we only need them until about 1st of August at the latest. And then we need a whole lot less cows. So this is the perfect balance of where we need to be before we get into a time when things don't grow as fast as they do right now. We're trying to balance. We try to manage our pastures based on what they're going to be in the fall and not what they're going to be in the spring. So with that, you know how it's like with two brothers. I gotta go. We'll talk to you next time.